Now, capital market players are worried about the kind of returns they will be gaining as amid ongoing negotiations with the International Monetary Fund. According to President of the Ghana Securities Industry Association, Winston Nelson Jr., the industry is concerned about the IMF deal because it presents another layer of confidence which could boost activities on the capital markets positively. Winston Nelson told Joy Business that continuing postponement of the deadline for the agreement with the fund brings some uncertainty onto the market.
The key concern is, when is the market going to fully reopen? You know, we had a market that was trading at a certain volume pre this program, and it hasn't gotten there yet. The volumes we trade in a day are less than half what we used to trade the same time a year ago. There has been definitely haircuts on the coupons that people are getting. So there's a lot of uncertainty. Currently, I think our biggest concern is, how is the market going to open and in what form? When is the IMF program going to end? When are we going to complete it? Because it becomes a key line item for us to close, for us to see the way forward. So these are some of the key things that concerns our members. And remember that once volumes are down, businesses are kind of suffering in terms of their revenues. Definitely their revenues would also be down. But you know, in this environment, expenses and costs have actually been rising. So most of the people will be living on, will be having higher costs than their revenues. It is therefore important that the markets open quickly so that we will be able to start at least breaking even, or else we'll be booking losses for a longer period of time.
You engage the managers of the economy or the leaders of this market, what signal do you get?
Well, we were under the impression the IMF program will be completed shortly. But we have been under that impression for a while. As you know, you are also in the media, so you know, like I also know, there's no clear date. It becomes a target for every month, and we keep going forward. The target keeps moving forward. So the big question is, okay, when are we going to get this thing done? At least we know the domestic is done. When will the external be done? For us to be able to conclude with the IMF, for us to now come back and now start dealing with how we rebuild again.
Well, Professor Godfred Bokpin has been sharing his perspective about this development. Let's take a listen to him.
It's more about government communication. Why am I saying so? When we're doing the domestic debt exchange, because they more or less through coercion, we were trying to create the impression that the banks and financial institutions and individual bondholders needed to sign up quickly, otherwise the economy was collapsing, so that we could get the program by the end of January. It was a strategy to get bondholders to surrender their old bonds for the new ones at considerably lower rate and all of that. Because that had been achieved. Then again, when it came to passage of the revenue bills, we packaged it as though we needed to do that and that was what we needed to do. No. And as you can see, the critical thing now is, and it has been there, is the assurance from bilateral and multilateral. Certainly, if you look at the way things are unfolding, our expectation had been that this week is a critical week for Ghana, because our bilateral, multilateral are all gathering in Washington, and therefore we will see some level of clarity in terms of the way forward. But certainly this month can't be possible for us to have a program, and therefore we should be looking at maybe middle of May or towards the end of May and all of that, because it's not going to be easy. And remember that it's simply not just helping Ghana and other African countries. The new Scrabble for Africa. Every powerful nation wants a portion of Africa, okay? And all these things are at play, and it's influencing how the discussions are going in terms of the geo-economic fragmentation and geo-global politics playing out between the West and China, Russia, and the rest of them.